economy, or what they call cultural economy
Sure.
is all about.
Well, thank you, and thank you for inviting me on the show overall. You know, I work with Trace TV, and so sometimes the default is to think, oh, it's just clubbing and something.
All about music, yeah.
For us, the youth are the future. We all know that. And the fact that we are able to first of all be admired by them, we take very seriously, and we take very seriously that we have a way to speak to them with an incredible way, and that we can communicate. So youth employment, you know, crime prevention, or helping them find other things to do, is at the core of our thinking, right? It's critical for us. I mean, not only for us as Africans, but even selfishly for a business. If we don't have them in 20 years, where will we be?
Yeah.
You know. So we've gotten involved in it. Well, what I would say is that the creative industry, to me, across Africa, is an incredible development in the last 15 years. I'm happy to say I was around very early in this iteration of it. In 2000, I was the promoter for a group called Kush, if you remember Kush.
Yeah, I do.
So I was the one behind Kush's group. And to see where we've evolved to now, I love the fact that you know, we are paying attention to ourselves. We're listening to our own music. We're listening to our own, you know, comedians,
our own
and
content.
you know, and being proud of our content and what we have. But more importantly, or underlying that, the fact that it has started to give youth across Africa, hundreds of millions of youth across Africa, a new confidence is the most beautiful thing ever. The one point that I'd like to make before we all jump into this is that we as leaders of youth, our politicians, our policymakers across the continent need to understand that it is not just about the guy standing on the stage singing. Behind every Davido or Wizkid, there's a team of 50, 60 people working.
There's a gang.
Yes, and some
And
of
I
those,
use that positively.
yeah, and a gang, because that gang can include lawyers,
Yes.
accountants,
Of course.
event planners, makeup, stylists, this proper
Managers.
general
Photographers.
employment, real employable
Yeah.
skills and knowledge, and that's what we need to concentrate on. That it's not just about the clubbing and so on and so forth. There's a whole ecosystem around entertainment. I'll stop there because I think everybody will have some
Okay.
comment.
Do you actually think the government has actually supported the youth in this initiative? Been creative?
I don't think so. In the United States, the creative industry is over $100 billion. It's huge that the government is even interested in streamlining their income so that they can get their tax from them.
Yeah.
You understand? It's really developing the nation. Here, in some other European countries, let me say this authoritatively, in some other European countries, they are trying to see how they can balance education. Education shouldn't just be from primary, secondary,
classroom based.
You know, in some European countries, what they do now is that they just get children in a room. They try to notice your passion, what you can do. If you are into music, if you are good with football, they take it on that line. One of the reasons why most youth are frustrated with unemployment is that you go through primary school, secondary school, university, you get a degree, and there is no job. All your life, you've been
focusing
on just that particular line, and at the end, the government is not coming up with a structure that you can fit into. So, in that level, I think the government really needs to, like you said, behind the Davido, there's a management. You understand? And I thought on Friday, I was in the public school. I told them, look for your passion, look for your calling. That is where the $1 billion will come from. You understand? You cannot all be all that. Just look at the amount of money someone like Wizkid is getting from entertainment. You understand? You can't the likes of Two-Face. The kind of money they make, it's only your talent that can give you that kind of money.
But don't you think they could as well make more if they had supports from the government?
Yeah, there's no structure. There is no structure. I tell you, the Tinapa we built. How many of us go to Tinapa to?
And so much noise was made about Tinapa and all
the
that.
same village. How many? Even if America, the distance in development is kind of clear, but take for instance Hollywood. Do we have a film village that we all go there to patronize? So the structure is not there. Go to National Stadium, go and see talents. Go and see people that can play good football than Messi. They are wasting there. Most of them, when you come around to watch them play, after their football training, they come to you, brother, please, can you just give us 200? How can you be active in football or in sport if you cannot feel well? You understand? So,
all right, you know, you gave a very vivid example with the United States, and if I'm correct, you know, the creative industry transformed the entire economy of the Republic of Indonesia and other countries of the world too. Mr. Chris, why do you think the federal government of Nigeria is paying lip service, you know, to actually supporting and developing the creative industry?
Well, I'm coming as a crime prevention expert. I have my own definition or narrative story.
Okay.
We have seen it as the best method of crime prevention. We have seen it as the workable, beyond workable, the most profitable. In the US, they call it soft power in crime fighting. It's called soft power in crime fighting, where you meaningfully engage young people. Remember, they have the strength.
Yes. Yes.
They have the passion.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
True.
They have the energy. So the only thing they need is the opportunity. I did education. As an education student, education is anchored on 3 domains. We have the affective domain, we have the cognitive domain, then we have what they call the psychomotor. This education is based in the US on these 3 domains. A situation whereby those efficos who can actually crime, who can, you know, they can write, and
The nerds.
you see them on the cognitive side.
Yes.
These are people you will see, they can become accountants, they can become lawyers, they can, that is just it. Then you, on the affective domain, these are people irrespective of what they read. They can actually bring 1 or 2 persons together. Their relationship is super. Whatever they come out, entertain is super. Then you talk about the psychomotor. These are the young people, their hands, their ability.
Yeah.
That is where you see the likes of LeBron James. You see the likes of 50 Cent. You see these guys. I get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, beyond that again, the entertainment industry is a crime prevention mechanism. For those who understand how the trend, how football came to be, especially the floodlight system of football, the evening, the night football in England. You know, football started in England. They saw that at a particular street, from 6 to 8, you see this crime, you know, bullying, rape within that street.
Reduced.
And every point in time, you see girls coming, crying here and there. So what the British government did then was, okay, let's organize this soccer. They organized the soccer, brought in the flood system. They started playing. You now see that at any point, within that time, all the young people, they move
Something
there.
to do.
Yeah.
Channel their energies.
Amazing.
I get what I'm saying. So it's most unfortunate that we lack priorities as a government. We lack priorities. And when governments when they see success, in quote, as coming from the 4 walls of university, the certificate, our certificate, that is where we're getting it wrong. So many young people in this country, let me not say America, they have cancelled that narrative. The likes of, what is his name? The son to our renowned lawyer. What's his name?
Falz
Baghdad. Yes, he went. He went to school, said, Dad, you want me to read law? I got the certificate. Have it.
But let me do what I want to do.
Are you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yes, Charlie Boy, long time ago. Went to school, came out. I was asking him, said, but he said no, he had a problem. That he didn't want to be identified as the son of Oputa. That he wanted a situation when people see him, he said, this guy now, Oputa is the father of this guy. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you now see that we lack, as a government, we lack priorities. That is where you see, when you go to Orlando, go to California. I was on training, exchange program sponsored by the U.S. government, IVLP, on that is a youth community conflict resolution. We traversed. We were in Cleveland, we were in so many places. We saw government.
At the local level.
Yes,
at the local level, taking
yeah.
out their time. When you go to Ohio in Cleveland, where LeBron James comes from, you see the LeBron James basketball academy, the youth challenge,
Like a clinic.
Yeah.
the Cleveland, the county, they are in charge of that stuff.
Yeah.
So the issue of our priorities as a government, we must get right. Irrespective of the monumental neglect in the system, you still see our boys, our girls struggling.
Trying.
You can imagine them bringing a law that cannot work.
Yeah. Yeah.
You see the Minister for Information trying to strangle that they must do their film, they must do everything, their video, they must do everything in Nigeria.
When the environment is not
a
conducive.
situation whereby when they go to South Africa,
It's cheaper.
Between $100, they've done everything, come back here. You know, and they are taxing them. It's not as if the Lagos state government, they are in court with Davido after his $30 billion stock. The question is, why will they accuse the young man, or why are they calling the young man to bring this money? What have they put in place for the industry?
What have they invested?
Okay, I guess you want to say
Return.
something.
All right, let's bring Mr. Sam back into the discussion. You know, how can, like Mr. Chris mentioned, the youths in Nigeria are struggling to make something out of nothing. As at 2011, the rate of unemployment was put at about 24.1%. So 2017, it's gone up to almost 40%. And that's
no more than.
How can the youths of today actually tap into this creative economy? Regardless.
Well, no question. I think a very well. I want to come back to the government point, but I'll do that after answering your direct question. It's not easy out there, and if you look at Lagos alone, my estimate is there are at least, brace yourselves, at least 200,000 up and coming artists. The number is probably more. 15 million, 7 million males between the ages of this and that. We have at least 5 million. So I'm talking of 5%. It's probably, and we know when you talk to 10 young people, 8 of them are artists. So I don't want to say that there's 1.5 million up and coming artists. But in this industry, again, this may not be the most attractive thing to hear, but you can spend your efforts trying to become the next Fowles or Burna Boy or whichever celebrity you like most. But there's a very good living to be earned by doing shows every weekend at a bar somewhere here. And as long as you're bringing in crowd, 50K a night, 4 or 5 nights. It's
like 200K, that's something.
300,000. If you have a band, maybe you get 150K. You guys can share it, and you're actually earning a respectable living. So I can thoroughly understand youth looking at all the glamour that we see on social media, and we see the celebrities. And me too, I want to be a billionaire. We all like more money, but there's something to be had in a respectable living. 100K, 150, 200, 300, 400K in a month is a good life. Is a good, respectable thing. And so that's one of the very simple things I want people to start considering, because they don't do it enough. In fact, you have bars that will fight and say, let me open a place. But trust me, there'll be somebody that's watching this program here that can go to their lounge around them and say, Oga, let me try.
Come and see,
let me try. Give me 3-4 weeks every day, every weekend. I'll come in and perform. And if I can bring in enough people, start paying me 50K. And I want to see that start to happen across Nigeria because that's one thing that's really lacking is weekends. There should be shows everywhere. Everybody, you pay 100, you go and sit there and drink, or you pay 500 to enter, whatever it is.
No,
Nice point. Nice point.
That's actually a good point.
It's a good point. It's a nice point, but
I think Ozone does that. The
No, but at least
yeah,
neighborhood.
few places.
Let's
But what
not
I'm
promote.
saying, no, I'm just trying to. What he just said, I'm
Yeah.
just trying to cite this, and because they have this comedians night. It's
Okay.
actually tomorrow. So if you feel you got talent,
Get out there and
come there. And when you come there, you see somebody like Chris will laugh, You know, you amplify and activate your laugh in that dormant because the government itself is actually suppressing your laughing. You know?
I need to add something
Quickly.
to this.
Yeah.
I was expecting you to ask him if he's into entertainment full time. And like you said, let me start from the point you made. He said over 200 youth artists out there trying to make names for themselves, trying to make things happen. The question is, what happened? Sorry, I'm not supposed to. There's a talent show that we regularly see yearly in Nigeria, and last year they couldn't come up with that. And talent shows are one of the fastest and easiest way to bring out this talent for easy popularity. So, talking about government and business policies, can't we look it from this side that if you notice, a lot of companies are running down, they are closing down because of the huge tax that are being taken from them. I am suspecting that is why that major telecommunication company didn't hold their last talent show. Understand? So how many in Nigeria, if you are not popular, your population, they want to see to their own, to the club's advantage. If you are not popular, they think they are doing you a favor. But just mention somebody like Beauty Nubia and everybody wants to. So what about the upcoming talents? Is it easy for me to walk up? You don't know me before, you've never heard of me before. How many people would take that risk to make me come play in their show?
Well,
but
that's excuse me. That's
We hardly give ourselves that.
No,
I get what you mean.
yeah,
That
we have that
opportunity.
platform.
No,
Yeah.
people are open to it, and don't get it wrong. Just like we talked about one bar that we know. I know several that do this thing, and a few of them it's because a young guy came to them and said, "Oh God, let's try this thing. Give me a few weeks. Give me, I'll call my friends. I will promote
Because
it
it's
and
not
bring people."
everyone that can as well get afford to pay the A or B or C artists.
Yeah,
to
and
come
not everybody
perform.
should be. Not everybody has the talent for it, and it's not going to happen. And it's not even the best talents that are the ones actually on
They're
TV.
not.
And
They're
around
not.
the world, the actual best artists are the ones who play live. And you sit there and you watch them and you're like, man, this is amazing. The ones that jump around on stage, they're talented, got it, but it's more about swag and so on.
It also has to do with.
No, we're talking about government policies now.
No,
How
but
you
I
can
want to
help.
I want to bring. I want to.
What you said here is let's also not over push it to government policies. Yes, because we all have roles to play. As young people too, I know when I told myself that one day I will climb on this stage and speak. Are you know what I'm saying? You walk towards it. Okay. You see, there's what they call SWOT analysis for those who did management. When you talk about your strengths, your weakness, opportunities, and your traits, our young people, to a large extent, they so much relax on their weaknesses. Are you know what I'm saying? If you see the few who took the initiative to capitalize on their strength, if you are a good mathematics student and you don't know English, you capitalize on mathematics, it becomes your brand. Nobody will remember English. They will always say, hi, Chris, that mathematics student. So if young people, especially for motivational speakers, for youth development experts, to motivate young people towards identifying their own talents, not just staying and waiting these facilities to I don't want to say.
May I jump in, because I don't want to squander this comment that I wanted to make.
Quickly.
I think very importantly, yes, the youth need to even hone themselves and improve their own skills and look for such, and that's very doable, and a lot of them sleep on it. My suggestion was one that I see as very practical, that across Lagos there should be 5,000 clubs, because we have over 30,000 places in Lagos that they go and drink. At least 5,000 doing a show every night.
Every
3
street
times
now.
so you can have
Virtually every street has a
5
bar.
people employed doing music there every night. That's 15,000 jobs as long as our guys get it going. But let me get back to the government, and just as you did with our snake discussion, let's recognize where there are some efforts being made. right? Yes, the Honorable Minister of Information, Culture and Tourism, Lai Mohammed, while it hasn't been able to just transform everything, has made very sustained efforts. First of all, there's been a tax cut for newly funded entertainment companies that's been put in place.
Wow, okay.
So a 5-year tax cut, and I think it's almost down to zero basically. So you get a tax relief for newly funded companies, and that's spurring some investment into the area.
Okay,
beyond that, we are working with them. We're working right now with the NTA and the ministry to try and revamp NTA so that there's more youth engagement and youth employment into it. So we'll start off with a campus tour, collecting those types of videos we just saw on Mumu. On TV. Let them bring their stuff and let's start to recognize from, give them a platform.
Basically content.
Basically content. Give them a platform and a way to start to make money from their content. So those who've done a great job with Mumu TV, hopefully we'll end up with a Mumu TV show.
Yeah.
That's good work.
That's nice.
Our time is running. We have to move on. We have to quickly in 10 seconds.
Sir, I hope there's one thing I've noticed that is lacking in the younger generation coming up as artists. I want us to preach content. If you're good, there's no hard. A goldfish has no hiding place. If you're good, if you notice the trend of those that are in limelight now, there are people that have content. Consistency. I think we should preach that.
I think it's not just about music, content, film, fashion,
it
sports,
cuts across
culture.
yes,
it's the cultural industry.
All right, we have feedbacks on this issue. Adebayo from Ikorodu says lack of dignity of labor contributes to this unemployment issue. My name is Prince Salis. I am so appreciative of this program because please don't call the number, just send an SMS. Because you touch the angle of Nigerian problems. It's left for our leaders to change. Thank you. From Asha Jokos, is that the name? Asha Jokos. It's high time Nigerian youth stop depending on the government to help them, especially graduates and coppers. Everyone has a God-given talent. Discover it. Discover those who need what you have and start making money from it. Graduates and coppers are supposed to be employers of labor, not job seekers. While in school, involve yourself in vocational skills. I think that's even being incorporated into the school curriculum.
Yes.
For secondary schools now.
The AU, the African Union, which you'd also be interested to hear, obviously are putting some efforts into youth development, and one of the things that they're focused on is called TVET, and it's to change the perception of technical vocational training as a last option to something that's practical. So we're also trying to work on those things with them across the creative industry.
This one says, I love your program. It's really empowering. And this one says, hi, I'm having a nice time listening. I hope you're not just listening, but you're watching and learning. In my own opinion, we live in a lawless economy, and when asked, the system of government being practiced is anarchy. Just because of that, anybody can wake up anytime and do or say anything. The major problem with Nigeria is Nigerians. We as a people need to get it right, and it starts with voting right and bringing forth the right candidates. All right, this other one, no name, no location, says my birthday is tomorrow. Happy birthday. Watch the Valentine show. We'll give you a shout out. All right, quickly, we have just about 5 minutes left of the show, and we need to touch on this issue. Nigerian landlords in the UK have gone into a panic because of the new UK property law. We hear that Nigerians who own properties in the United Kingdom have inundated the Federal Ministry of Finance's voluntary assets and income declaration scheme hotlines with calls, causing the lines to crash on Friday. We also hear that the unprecedented level of calls was not unconnected with the new UK regulation on unexplained wealth orders. Now, if you recall, the UK government last week introduced a new law that requires foreigners who own properties in their country to explain the source of their funds or risk forfeiting them to the government.
No problem. Now, just tell us where you got
Well, that's actually a good word.
It's fine.
I I mean, it's as good as, it's as simple as ABC. Where did you get your money?
The confident ones will say a snake gave them.
It doesn't work there.
No, but let's look at it this way.
There.
Well, let's look at it this way. Then
Okay.
now, a lot of people that get like a lot of landlords that Nigerians that are landlords that are in the UK are calling to actually make declarations, things they ought to have done before. So don't you think that it's now like the UK that is telling us what to do? If other countries are able to emulate this particular policy, what do you think is going to happen to the country?
Who told you that we are not aware of the system in the UK? You know that we practice the same democracy as America.
Yes, we do.
So why is the American system working out and ours is not working? The fact remains that we have a way of doing we have the Nigerian thing, which is embedded in corruption. Now, I think to a large extent, some of Nigerians will say that any day UK hands off activities in Nigeria will be better, because most of these yes, of course, most of these crooks or corrupt leaders fraternize with the big and mighty in the UK. Are you getting what I'm saying? The fact remains that if okay, let me tell you something. Do you know that when Alamesia was caught, you know that the UK, the camera saw Alamesia moving. Are you aware? Saw Alamesia moving, and just decided to, even said that we don't have case with you. Because they choose to do so. Are you know what I'm saying? Now, maybe something must have, maybe Buhari factor must have cropped in. Yes, when UK start doing the right thing, Nigerians too, it will reflect in our system. Because the heat is like Switzerland, the Swiss bank, the money. We have a whole lot of money in Switzerland.
Yes, that's true.
So it is any day the Swiss government now decide to say, okay, we are tired of milking this this African country. We'll just take proceeds.
I think that absolutely that there is something to learn from them. Yes, I understandably we all know of the difficulties of how colonial nations sort of treated us in Africa and so on. But at the same time, I think that there's a little bit of a global shift in mentality where we all want to. We're like, okay, everybody, those old people are almost gone. We want to change how things are done, and I think there's a genuine effort in the UK and other countries to try and change that. So I think it's about working together.
Yes, of course.
And working together intelligently towards it.
Okay, you want to say anything quickly?
Yeah, this is the first time it's happening in the history of Nigeria, and it's very welcoming. Like seriously. It's going to change a lot of things in the nearest future. And something happened some years back. It was funny. It was funny when some of the legislators said anybody that embezzles money in Nigeria and reinvests it in Nigeria, that person should go scot-free. They were trying to pass a message across to the citizens that see, come, we take this money, but
so you can still
encourage us to put it here.
All right, our time is up. All right, even as we conclude, we'll end with Ben Kestrel from Agege. He says, nice one, guys. I'm an artist. The truth is the entertainment industry has helped a lot of youths get employed, but we need progressive policies. And the media must also stop the extortion of artists. We need your support. You are all we've got if the youths must be heard. And on that note, gentlemen, I wish we had more time.
I have something
We
to
have
say
to go.
about that. But I will
Have to
reply. If you send that message to Galaxy's handle,
All right.
I will reply personally.
Okay.
Trace, we take this very seriously.
All right.
We understand there's payola across the entertainment industry globally,
Yeah.
but officially we don't do it.
Okay.
So we would definitely
so
take
that's
this
something.
seriously.
Many thanks to Mr. Sam
Thank you so
Oyemilukwe.
much,
Thank you so
sir.
much for coming.
Thank you.
Bukola. Thank you,
Always a
Bukola. Thank you,
pleasure.
Mr. Chris.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Nice to have had you guys on the show.
Great
Thank you,
one.
Alero.
Thank you,
ladies.
patience.
All right, tomorrow is Valentine's Day, so they say.
So we say.
Join us for the Valentine's edition. We'll be talking love from different perspectives. All right, 12 noon, don't forget.